Welcome to our Devos. We're talking this week about preparing for new. We're talking about understanding that God wants us to do something new and how God wants to use our lives to manifest in His timing, His presence to this world by us preparing for new. And I said there's things that we can do to work in concert with God's efforts in our lives to show Himself. And one of those things that we do that we just do without waiting to be inspired to do it, and I want to encourage you to think about this specifically as you look at the new year, is doing something that I would call exercising encouragement. Exercising encouragement. Now, I don't know what your plans are for the year, but like many of us, like mine is, I want to be healthier. I want to continue to, work on fitness goals. And there are days that you don't feel like exercising. For most people, that's every day. I'm with you on that. I'm like, ooh, I get to go and wake up when it's really cold and go out to the gym. Or I get to go for a long walk when it's like kind of rainy and nasty. Or I get to interrupt my day to go lift heavy things that, they get heavier and heavier the longer you don't do it. Nobody has that desire. But people that are healthy, they push past the desire level and they move to execution where they're just doing it because they know that it's the right thing. And they recognize based on how they feel after and how it impacts them in the long run that they do it whether they feel like doing it or not. The results are worth the pain that it is for that moment. And so the question is, are you willing to do that when it comes to encouragement? Are you willing to exercise in a way where you are actually doing encouraging things without feeling inspired to do so? A lot of times we end up missing out on things that God may be putting in front of us because we don't feel like it. We don't have that feeling to, I don't know if I feel like calling this person. I don't know if I feel like sending that text message. I don't know if I feel like moving in the direction of doing this thing. I want to encourage you to treat it like exercise. You can become an encouraging person by treating it like exercise. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11, the Apostle Paul tells the church at Thessalonica, therefore encourage one another and build one another up just as you are doing. He doesn't say, hey, whenever you feel like doing this, just go ahead and do it. Just whenever the moment strikes you. He goes, no, keep on doing this. Later on, in one of his other epistles to Timothy, he says that he is to be instant in season and out of season when it comes to teaching the word. So this idea of waiting for the right moment to do the right thing is kind of erroneous. You want to do the right thing because it's the right thing. You want to encourage because it's what God wants you to do. You want to do that because God gets glory when we do it. So I want to encourage you right now that there are people in your life that the encouragement that you're going to give them this year might be the only encouragement that they get all year long. And here's a little secret. I teach this in corporate training, but I'll tell you this too. When you encourage someone, take it to the next level by being very, very specific. All right? Specific is what makes encouragement go from flattery to genuine, life-changing, transformative words. Let me give you an example. If I say to, I'll just make an example up. If your spouse comes in and they made dinner and you just say thank you for making dinner. My wife makes dinner a lot and she's a good cook because she doesn't want me to cook because it's not going to be as good. And, the kids will starve. It's not a good idea. So if I say, hey, good food, this is really good food, that's great. Okay, it's a good compliment. It's nice. Thank you. It's nice. It's better than saying nothing. But let me take it up a notch. Instead, say, you know what, I really noticed that you put a lot of effort into making the spice in this spaghetti taste good. I feel like you really spent time perfecting this recipe, and I could tell that the texture is right or whatever. That's specific. It's real specific. When it comes to people's character, instead of just saying, hey, you did a really good job, say, hey, I noticed that you showed up early. That really shows me that you care about respecting my time or you care about respecting other people. You really are trying to be conscientious of the details. And when you do that, what happens is you're telling people something specific. So use encouragement. Make the opportunity to encourage people a regular part of exercising in your life.